Hello again, everybody. Harry Boxer, the technical trader at TechTrader.com. It's Monday, the 23rd of January. These are the charts of the day. Well, a really good start in Wall Street. The markets had a really strong morning, midday, and then the afternoon pulled back, but came back off of secondary support and closed very nicely with a solid gain for the week. I mean, for the day, and certainly a good start to the week. So let's see what we want to talk about this today. I have a lot of stocks to discuss, about 30 of them. So AEHR remains a swing trade and has been twice now. And you can see the recent breakout and the run up has taken this stock from a gap up to about 20 3/4 from to nearly 35 today in the last couple of weeks. Fabulous move, but it is 5 waves and is extended and is at mid-channel target. So let's just see what happens here. You may need to do some backing and filling, but long term, intermediate term, I think 40s and 50s may be doable on this one. AMD popped and broke through its declining top line, I think today. Let's take another look at this. Yep. Finished just above it, but below the double triple top that we had in November. So the key resistance now is 79.9 1/4. And if we get through that, we're looking at something in the high 80s, low 90s. BOIL, I decided to put a swing on this today because I think the stock is washed out. Now, I know people in our room think this can go down to 6 or 7 or whatever, but today's 48 and 49 million share thrust, an all-time record off the low with that kind of volume, indicates to me either short covering and or buying or both. Currently, my targets are going to be around 13 and 14.5, 15. BWEN, big explosive move 2 weeks ago and a move up. Now a 1-week flag. Today's one of the highest closes we've seen during the flagging process, but it needs over 6. 6 gets you 7.25, 7.25 may get you 8. Beyond Meat, look at the multiple tops in this base pattern that's developed. We come out of here, we're looking at a move towards 20 and maybe even mid-20s. Keep an eye on this one as it may be a turnaround situation, especially after a long, long decline. BYSI, same here, but this one exploded literally from 55 cents to 297, about a 6-fold increase in a week before pulling back and wedging. It broke out and wedged again and now popped. 2 days of stalling here near resistance tell me this is working its way to a breakout of over 280. That happens, I'm looking at 3.5 and 4. CABA been in a phenomenal rising tight channel. Currently, looks like it wants to go to 15, 18, 21 range. A really, really strong chart. Carvana, massive decline. So this go from 360, 70, whatever, down to 3-4 range. Breaks out on big volume and pulls back. Holds at the moving averages, and today bounced again. Up 76 cents or about 12% today. Volume picked up a little bit. It needs more. It'll get more if it takes out 8.5. You get that, you're looking at 11.75 and 13. DMTK exploded, pulled back for 1 day. It's moving again. Key support at 3.75, resistance at 6. You get through that, 7 and 8.75 might be targets. Good momentum. EPOW, incorrect close. I've checked it. It was 387. You can look at it right here. Not sure where they got that. Could be after hours. Anyway, long story short, it's moved up from 270 to 390 in the last couple of weeks. Key resistance now is 440.50. You get through that, you're looking at 5, 6, and 7. EVGO, double bottomed, exploded through the declining tops line. Above the moving averages at resistance, it pulled back. But look at the crossover moving averages that it tested and exploded off of today. With 5.4 million share traded, big volume for that stock, it was up 96 cents or 18%. My target, 7.575. GDS swing trade remains in force and is breaking out of a wedge after 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not sure that that's the proper count, but if it breaks out above, say, 25 with any kind of energy, I'm looking at 30 and 35 potentially follow through. GNS, talk about exploding, about 29 cents to 6.28 in the last couple, 3 weeks. The volume has been huge here, and so it may need to pull back and consolidate in that zone, but if it does get follow through, we're looking at 8 and 10. GOTU, pop, wedge, pop, explode, get up to key resistance and back off. Come on again and form a rising wedge, break out today. It's the highest close we've seen in the stock since way back in mid-21. They move above here, and this thing could go vertical into the gap, 6, 7, and 8. HOLO breaks out of a flag, pops, and then follows through beautifully today with another $1.78 at 16%. Volume wasn't heavy because it's thin. This is the kind of stock that could be 16, 18, 20. HUYA, Chinese play that's remarkable. After spiking down in October, reaching $1.64, this one is now nearly quadrupled, excuse me, a fourfold increase to get it back over 5.5 range. Next target 7.5. LASE exploded a week and a half ago, flagged and a rising flag, reversed Friday, exploded today again. 406 to 488, finished 470 up 64 cents. That's a 16% gain. You can see how strong it looks. There's a double top up here in that 5.25 half range. I expect might be tested. Swing trade LI and the Chinese automotive group broke out of a wedge today. Looks like the objective would be to take out 2440 and run to 27, my next target. MARA, as Bitcoin bounces back to 23,000, so does MARA, 313 to over 9, tripling in about 2 weeks. It did retest for 1 day, and now it's coming right on strongly again. My target 10.25 and 12. And IU, another Chinese electric vehicle manufacturer. This one popped out today from a 3-wave corrective pullback right to the trend line and lateral price support, which held. Your support now is 4.5. Your resistance is 6.15, and your target 8. Peri, one of our better swings in the last couple of years. You can see how this stock's been awesome for a couple of years now, having gone from the 2-3 range all the way up into the mid-30s. After pulling back down, it stair stepped its way out. We put a swing on it when it broke out. It pulled back and tested, and now it's exploding off the 24 range to get up to 32, 8 points in the last couple of weeks. I don't think it's anywhere near done yet. Looking for mid-30s and then low to mid-40s. PI, Impinge, after exploding and retesting, we put a swing on it and meet target number 1, but then pulled back in a nice little neat 5-wave decline. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, held support and bounced again. We have almost a double top up here, but I think if we get through 137, 145 and 160 are targets. PLRX exploded on big drug news, jumping from opening gap at 35 to 43 and pulling back to 26, finishing 31.11 of 860, 38% gain. Not a great close, but let's see if it can work its way back up towards the high 30s, low 40s. That's where I think it might be headed. Plug. After coming down hard, like many of the electric vehicle related stocks, it broke out. Electric charging fuel cell stocks. This is a fuel cell. Broke out and retested the moving average as it crossed over, and now today a big pop of $1.55 or 10% nearly. Volume was 25 million. Once we get to the double top, which right now is resistance here, let's call that 18.25. I would look for 20 and then 24. PRPL swing trade remains in force. The wedge broke out a week ago and pulled back. Today it spiked back up to retest the high at near 6 and backed off. However, anything through 6 and looking at 7.5 as a target. SHOP, beautiful inverse head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, or rounding bottom, whatever you want to call it. There's key resistance and it's coming up right to it here. Today's gain of 9% puts it right at resistance. A breakthrough gets you to 48 and then mid-50s. SKX, Skechers. Lovely long-term declining pattern, breakout, wedge, breakout, another wedge, and a pop, mini flag, and then boom. Today was a big day for it. 216, 4.6%. Now, there is a double top area just above here at 50 that may be a problem, but my secondary target is my real goal at 56. SOXL, another ETF with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave decline, a pop and a retest, making a high, a right-handed extended V, and we're up against the neckline. Key resistance, 15. Get through that. 19 and 22 are your targets. TSLL, the tracking stock for Tesla, with Tesla moving, is doing very well. Look at the last 2 weeks. A low of 464, today's high 785, about 75% gain in a couple of weeks, but it needs to get to the declining top sign and then test the next resistance at 9. And finally, W with a big day today. Wayfair exploded on Friday. I missed it. I had seen that. I might have put a swing on it. It reached target number 1 on a swing today. Target number 2 is about 75, a long way from here, but it looks like it has that kind of momentum. We shall see. That's it from thetechtrader.com. Good night, everybody.